into the box score basketball edition. We're in district tournament play. The district tournaments are over. Region tournaments are starting. And Jeff, tournament basketball is always fun.
It is. It's. I know it's not March. It doesn't. March is not here until next Wednesday. But some places, some are predictable. But some places, it's very interesting.
Right. Let's go ahead and look at some tournament scores. First of all, we're going to start in District 7A. Clay County wins that district 60-51 over Pickett. Kind of like we thought going in. We knew that Pickett-Clark Range game would be a big one. Of course, when you look up there, Clay is 1, Pickett's 2, Clark Range 3, Red Bowling 4. Red Bowling's got to like their draw. Red Bowling already beat Charleston County, who won the regular season race, and the girls wound up second. But still, you got to think that all 4 of these teams got an excellent chance, Jeff, to advance to the region. We'll look at that bracket in just a minute. But we've talked about 7A and their strength all year.
Exactly, and there's not much. We kind of predicted about how this was going to go, but give Red Bowling a lot of credit. They almost pulled the upset, and this is the kind of time of the year where things.
Cinderella does come to the dance. We saw that with Watertown boys.
It does, and I know we're going to talk to the coach a little bit later, but man, it almost got off to an interesting start with Clay and Red Bowling, and Pickett having to hold on. Lamar's teams, they get tough this time of year.
Let's go ahead and look at the Region 4A girls bracket. Of course, all those games at the higher seeds. Clay County will host Merrill Hyde. Charleston County hosts Clark Range. East Robertson hosts Red Bowling. Pickett hosts Joe Burns. The only game that I see that may even be close would be that East Robertson Red Bowling Springs. But I still think the Lady Bulldogs go on the road to Cross Plains and get a big win.
I think this is a good chance for for 7 to get a sweep possibly.
And that's what happened last year. Gordonsville went to their top seed, which I think was Joe Burns, and got that win. Of course, the winners advance to the semifinals, which is the most pressure-packed game in basketball, I guess. That'll be at Jackson County High School on Monday night, and then the championship coming on Wednesday, March the 1st. Let's go ahead and look at some 7A boys results. Of course, Red Bowling Springs hangs on, beats Clark Range 61-58 in that 4-5 play-in game. Then Clay County beats Red Bowling in one semifinal. Gordonsville loses in overtime to Pickett. Of course, Gordonsville without Brody Sykes. Then Clay County wins the championship pretty handily by 20 over Pickett boys.
We was wondering if Red Bowling was going to get a little bit of momentum and get in. They managed to get into the top 4. Just unfortunately, they played a pretty good game against Clay, and Gordonsville obviously, Gordonsville must have been on that night,
right?
In that consolation.
I thought Gordonsville would win, but by no means that I think they'd win by 42 points. I just didn't think that was actually possible. But according to talking to some of the Gordonsville fans, they felt like they played one of their best games of the year. Let's go ahead and look at that consolation game. Braden Holloman leads the Tigers in scoring with 23. Cole Harper, who's off the bench for Gordonsville, not even the rotation, so one of their subs is their second leading scorer. Red Bowling Springs led by Chris Hackney, and I know Andrew Molnax had to be disappointed in his team's effort to get beat that badly.
Yeah, and Cole Harper, one of those kids. It's just one of those. If you get put in the game, you take advantage, and obviously he did. I'm sure he was happy to get in double figures that night.
Looking at the District 7A boys consolation air times. Of course, that game took place up at Jackson County High School in Gainesboro on Friday, February the 24th at 4:30, on Saturday, February the 25th at 5:30, on Sunday, February the 26th at 5:30, and then on Tuesday, February 28th at 7. Watch the Gordonsville boys, a big win, 69-27 over Red Bowling Springs. Let's go ahead and look at the region bracket for the boys. Of course, Knowledge Academies, a team out of Nashville, a lot of people thought they could make some noise in the tournament, and they wound up 4th. They'll have to go to Salina that's always a tough place to play.
It is, and I think you and I talked about I think last month about Knowledge Academies. Team that's come out of nowhere, and we thought, wow, are they going to be a team to beat? Well, they got to go to Clay County, and Salina's not an easy place to play. But I think Bulldogs will be ready.
Of course, East Robertson, I think the defending single A champ, Gordonsville will have to go there, but no, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Gordonsville goes to Cross Plains and gets a win. Of course, they probably like their chances a lot better if they had Brody Sykes. Of course, he's out with the knee injury, but you've got Joe Burns hosting Red Boiling. Joe Burns beat East Robertson by 1 in that District 8 championship game. And then Pickett County hosts Trousdale. Pickett County, a bunch of guards, 5 guards. Talked to Joseph Hamonette actually earlier today. And Trousdale, a team that's been up and down. And sometimes we think, Jeff, hey, they can make a deep run. And other times we look at them and we think, they could lose by 20. So what Ryan Sleeper's Yellow Jackets team does going to Byrdstown, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's. I think Trousdale's got a good chance pulling off. They can get back into the win column. More than likely, they're going to get a Joe Burns team. But does Red Boiling Springs have any more magic in them? Not sure. But Clay and Gordonsville is a possible region matchup next Tuesday.
I would think Joe Burns would be the favorite. Although Red Boiling, they've got the height, and at times, they've played a lot of teams close, lost a lot of close games, but then they lay an egg in the consolation game. So what's their mindset going to be when they have to make the long trip from Red Boiling to Cedar Hill? I mean, you're probably looking at 2.5, 3-hour drive.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that's having to make that 2-3 hour drive one way. And you talk about Red Boiling Springs. I know that they want to bounce back and shake that game off against Gordonsville, and maybe they can come back and get them a big win.
All 4 of those region quarterfinal games will be on Saturday at 7 o'clock local time, and that's set by TWSAA. As you look, Clay County. Although they're the number 1 team, most of the time the number 1 team from the other bracket gets the preview, since they've got the drive time of playing that 6 o'clock game, but that's not the case. So if Joe Burns were to win and then have to play on Tuesday night, then you're looking at midnight probably or later before they got home from Jackson County High School, and they've got school on Wednesday, I'm sure. So anyway, that's a long, hard road for those teams to travel.
I doubt if they'll get a counted, they'll get a what do they call that, excused absence
right,
for that.
For sure. We'll take a look at the District 7 AAA and standings, and not the standings, but the brackets when we return, and also the Region 4 AAA tournament when we return to the box score, presented to you and sponsored by Carthage Safeway.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old barred trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
Life moves fast, and that means all of your technology should too. DTC is proud to be your local technology partner, helping you connect what matters most, no matter where you are or what you do.
Realize your inner superhero with faster internet from DTC. Get a $50 bill credit when you sign up or upgrade your internet. We're talking unlimited plans with speeds up to 1 gig.
DTC Communications, connecting what matters most.
And welcome back to the Box Score. Terry Collins along with Jeff Barnes, and we're looking at some district. But as we talk about that, Jeff, we talked about 7 AAA. There's going to be 3 teams left at home, 7 teams in that district. Some awfully good clubs advancing, but still, when you look at that, when you get to the region, only 2 of those are going to make it to sub-state play.
Exactly. You know, we're talking about, like, on the girls' side, you still got 4 teams that are in the top 10, and it is a shame that only 2 of them can go, because any of those 4 teams can probably compete with anybody in the state, and that's west to east.
Right. When you look at district tournament play, of course, you got to host that first round play-in games. The 2 hosted 7, 3 hosted 6, 4 hosted 5. You know, that's a pretty big advantage. That it doesn't go all to one central site anymore. Teams do that after you get to the semifinals. But that gives you a little reward for finishing in a higher seed.
Exactly. That's one of the things you strive for, because in the regular season, you always want to get the top seed. You want to get the bye. But if you can't get that, try to make the top 4, because you want to get a home game, because it's tough. It's tough going on the road, and especially, you know, talking about District 7 AAA in general. It's tough to go anywhere on the road, you know, whether it either be Cumberland County, DeKalb, Macon, you know, White County, Livingston, Upperman. It's just, they're tough places to play on the road, and if you can steal and win on the road, you're doing something.
Let's go ahead and look at the District 7 AAA results as we'll look at the tournament bracket as far as the girls go. You had White County that beat DeKalb, Cumberland beat Stone, Upperman beat Macon. We knew that last week. We were looking at these semifinal games. You got Livingston and White County. Livingston a 10-point win, and then Cumberland County loses to Upperman by 10. A very low scoring game, a lot lower scoring than maybe I probably thought.
Yeah, the Upperman Cumberland County game, it was a close first quarter. Cumberland County, from the second quarter on, really could not put any offense together. Maybe 17 points total for the next 3 quarters, and I think only 2 points came in the second quarter. Upperman was able to come back. They were able to hold off Cumberland County down the stretch. Cumberland County just couldn't buy a basket. And the White County game, White County led Livingston for a good part of the game, but that fourth quarter rolled around 20-7 in favor of Livingston. They were able to hit free throws down the stretch. White County couldn't get no closer than 6 or 7 points.
In the District 8 District 7 AAA, of course, that looks the same as it did in 8 AA. Livingston and Upperman battling for the championship, and Justin Malden's Lady Bees gets the 56-47 victory to win the district championship. In the consolation game, Cumberland County gets the win over White County to kind of set the stage for what's ahead for the region.
Yeah, exactly. And in that game for Cumberland County, 11 threes 9 of them came in the first half for Cumberland County. It just seemed like every time they threw up a shot, it just went in. And these were deep threes.
Right.
I mean, the college, if you can imagine at Tennessee Tech where the college is, they were deep threes, and they were just on. They shot well.
Looking at the Region 4 AAA bracket, of course, the semifinals and finals will be at Tennessee Tech, but Upham will host Page. Tullahoma, Cumberland County has to go there. White County on the road to Fayetteville and play Lincoln County High School. It's a long trip, but one I think Coach Dodgen and his team, after you've been through the wars of District 7 AAA, you got to think White County's got a chance in that game.
I think so. I think White County, because we talk about, 4 of the top 10 is in District 7 AAA. You're beating up on each other, all the time, and now you get to step out and play Lincoln County. Yeah, Lincoln County won the district. They're like 25-4, 24-4. I think White County can go on the road. Yes, a long trip. I think they can get the win. This is a good chance for, I think, District 7 to get the sweep. I see the Lady Jets going to Tullahoma to get a win. This could be a Upper Cumberland and White County and Livingston. And if this happens, this is going to be a district it'll be a District 7 tournament semifinal rematch in the region.
Livingston hosts Lawrence County. Of course, Lawrence County a few years ago, I think won the state championship, if I remember correctly. Then that's everybody's satellite games is what they call them, the region quarterfinal games. The higher seeds, the teams that made it to the championship games, will host those. And then on Monday night at 6 at Tennessee Tech, and 7:30 will be a couple of girls semifinals, and on Wednesday night at 7 will be the championship. Of course, the two teams that make it to the region championship, if you win the region, you get to host the sub-state game. If you lose the region, then you'll go on to Region 3 AAA champion. But still, if you can get to the finals, you're in the what they call Sweet 16, which is only one step away from the Glass House in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, exactly, and those teams will meet in the sectional coming up on the 4th on Saturday.
Let's go ahead and look at the boys' results. Of course, all of those not in yet because we're airing the day as they'll play White County and Upperman will play tonight. White County, a huge win in that upset Stone Memorial. Beat them by 2, and Stone, we had just about crowned them as not only a district champion but a state champion as well. They hit a roadblock.
They did, and take a look at the White County DeKalb County game. Give DeKalb a lot of credit. Boy, they hung in there. They fought tooth and nail all the way to the win, and White County needed every bit of that 93 points to come away with the victory. And then against Stone Memorial, good defensive effort. White County, not in the mood of really slowing it down, but they did. Bilbrey hit a 3 to put them up. Trip Pinion comes down, puts them up by 1. Thomas Paul gets a block at the other end. Japheth is fouled with 3.8 remaining. He hits 1 of 2. They got to go the length of the court, but Tripp got the steal at the end of the game to secure the win. White County for 11th year in a row in the district championship.
White County will play Upperman as Upperman knocked off Livingston Academy 66-63 after Livingston had won both the regular season games, if I remember right. I remember Livingston did win at Upperman by 2.
And that was a back and forth matchup, and Livingston missed a 3 at the buzzer that would have sent it into overtime.
Stone Memorial played Livingston in the consolation game, and as we said, White County and Upperman. Let's go ahead and look at our replay dates of the DeKalb County versus White County. That was the quarterfinal game of District 7 AAA. If you like offense, you want to watch this ball game. 168 points scored in this one. The replay dates on Thursday, February the 23rd at 7, Saturday, February the 25th at 4, Sunday, February 26th at 3:30, and Tuesday, February 28th at 8:30. And a special thanks to Warrior Media for this student production here on DTC3. Let's go ahead and look at the bracket for the Region 4 AAA. Start off, we don't know that who District 1 or District 7 number 2 is. Of course, that'll be the winner of tonight's game. But still, you're looking at Spring Hill going to Upperman or to Sparta to play. Then Page will play against the winner of the Constellation game, which is between Stone and Livingston. You know, for a while, everybody thought that was going to be 1-2, and now they're playing in the Constellation. Lawrence County, they're not going to get any bargain. Whoever loses that Stone-Livingston game when they go to Lawrenceburg to play the District 8 top seed, and then Marshall County, of course, going to play the loser of the Upperman and White County game. But, you know, it sets the stage. I think a couple of those, especially those 2-3 matchups, should be good ones. And those 1-4 matchups, I don't know that that's just a shoe-in to slide the number 1 seeded team over.
I don't think so either, Terry. You know, because when you think about it, Spring Hill's going to draw, you know, White County or Upperman. That's going to be tough. And Page is, you know, you think that they probably could be drawing a Stone Memorial team who is not going to be happy coming into Page, and they could get a win there. I mean, Livingston, and you know, I'm just speculating right now. It could be Livingston and Lawrence County. If that's the case, you know, Livingston's tough. They could go down there and get them a huge win. And can Upperman or White County hold off Marshall County? Could be, you know, could be a District 7 sweep. If it is, it's a district semifinal rematch again.
Which will come up on Tuesday night after those Saturday night quarterfinal games, and then the championship on Thursday night at 7 o'clock on the campus of Tennessee Tech in Cookeville. We'll have an interview with head coach Kevon Honeycutt when we return to the Box Score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old borrowed trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Here's normal internet speed. Here's the gig difference. Average speed, gig. Not enough speed, gig speed. With gig internet from DTC, everything's different. Video streaming is a breeze. Music and photos fly. And gaming gets real with no data limits. That's the gig difference. Call or visit DTC online and get your gig today.
Here with head coach Kevon Honeycutt of the Watertown Purple Tigers. And coach, you're in your first year. I know the regular season, you say, it's a long 3-month, grind. Your team goes 0-6 during the district. And I know everybody in Watertown said, hey, we got a chance to win the district tournament.
Yeah, I think that's something that, that was just us. That's what we thought. Nobody else thought we could win it. We were counting out early, and I think our guys responded well. I think they understood that 0-0 is what everybody was at, not just us. It wasn't, everybody had to start over now, and I think we kind of showed that it's capable of doing. It was hard, don't get me wrong. It was a tough path to go through, and we faced a lot of adversity throughout the year, and we were right there a lot of the times this year. We just couldn't pull it through and couldn't play 4 quarters, and we played 4 of the best quarters of basketball we've played 2 nights in a row.
Coach, when you look, what was the magical moment? Was there one? Was it your loss to Smith County on senior night, which I know you had 5 seniors, had to be very disappointed. They lose that game, I think it was 56-37, if I remember right. Just not a good performance by your team. They had to be disappointed because there was a huge crowd in there that night. Your pep band is second to none. They do a great job. I enjoy coming. I would come to games just to listen to the pep band. They're that good.
Yeah, I think it was our senior night. We had a lot of guys that had a bitter taste in their mouth after that. And, we had a long talk that night in the locker room, probably one of the longer nights that we've had. And we've not really had a lot of guys, step up and say a lot in the locker room. And that night after we took that loss, we had some guys step up and say something, and we've been asking for that all year. And I think it finally kicked in that, hey, this might be it for some of you seniors. And this would be some of the only basketball you'll play competitively down the stretch. And I think it kind of grasped there for a second when we told them, say, hey guys, now you've got to play Smith County again back to back, and you got to play them at their place first round. They're number 1 team in the district. You're the 4th seed. You're the underdog. We know we're capable of doing it, but you have to play 4 quarters of basketball. And every district game we played this year, I'd say we may have played 2.5 quarters of basketball, and sometimes not even that. And it's been a struggle with that. But once we put 4 quarters together, we're rolling, and we're playing well right now. And it's scary to think how good we can actually be when we make easy shots and we finish layups and we make free throws down the stretch. And if you look back from the last 2 games, if we hit our free throws, each one of those games are a 10-point to 15-point win. It's just some mental stuff right now, and we're working through that stuff. But nobody believed we could do it besides the ones here in the locker room, man. And I think that turning point was that senior night. I think we kind of had a come to Jesus meeting on what we needed to do, and they come ready that next day when we had practice, and they were locked in and ready to go. And it's credit to those guys that come in here every day after getting beat down. And as coaches, it's your job. You're supposed to show up. With kids, they can decide not to show up. And you're kind of just left in limbo. And they showed up, man. They continue to work.
Coach, when you look at starting the tournament, I guess, only having 4 teams, not having a play-in game, and then going to a team that had beat you twice to their place on their floor. Was it a us against the world mentality for your team coming into Bill Landry Gym in Carthage?
Yeah, I think it was. And I think, one thing that we talked about was, our mindset was survive and advance. It wasn't, hey, you get another game. Our mindset was, if we lose, this is it for us. And they bought into that. And I think that kind of translated into our games. Because 50-50 balls, we got them. We did very well last night on the defensive rebounds, making sure that we're controlling the boards. And our guys, they bought into, hey, we're not supposed to be here, but we're going to be here, and you're going to have to fight tooth and nail to beat us. I guess you could say, it was us against the world. And, we've always talked about, hey, we're here, we're already in the district tournament. Why not go ahead and win it? And our guys responded to that. And that's credit to those guys in the locker room, because they could have very well came out and not responded to it at all and just kind of laid down and quit, because it's easy to quit when your regular season, your 8 wins and 18 losses. And it's tough, man. These guys, they're used to getting beat in games like that. And I think they've shown, for 2 nights now that they're capable of winning big-time games.
Coach, one thing that we talked about last night was it would have been easier for your team to just sit back and say, hey, you know what, regular season didn't work out for us. We're coming into the district tournament now. We're just going to sit back and take it easy. After the first quarter of the game last night, you guys are down by 10 points. I know you were preaching resiliency to your team. At that point, they could have stepped back and said, hey, you know what, this game's just not going to go our way. It's not our night again. We're going to go ahead and sit this one out. But from that point forward, and including that second half when Trent Spradlin scored as many points as the entire Westmoreland team did, holding Westmoreland to 12 points in that second half. Was there anything that you did in that moment during that intermission break between the first and second quarter to keep your guys pepped up and to continue that resiliency?
Well, I think we told our guys before the game, that was their first time ever played in the district championship game. And it was the same thing for those Westmoreland kids. Our guys haven't. I think the last time we won a district championship was in 2016 when Coach Bryce was a part of it. And, with both teams, I said before the game, I said, it's going to be to who responds to the jitters and who responds to the nervousness early. That's who's going to get out and kind of control the game early on. And we've done a really good job of kind of withstanding it there for a second. And, that's what I told them during that timeout. I said, guys, I told you the first quarter is going to be about who responds immediately to the atmosphere and to all the nervousness and excitement of a championship game. And the best part about it is these last 2 games, I've not really had to say much during timeouts as far as what we need to do, what we've got to do to get it done. We've had guys finally speaking on the bench, and our assistant coaches step in and say stuff a lot now. And it's all just kind of coming together at the right time. And they've done a really good job. And I think the last 2 games have been a lot of player-led situations. And it's something that we've not had all year, and it made a world of difference.
When Trent Spradlin stepped to the line with 3.3 seconds left Saturday night against Smith County, one thing I noticed from inside the arena was that entire bench was right there. It wasn't just your players on the court. Everybody was involved in that, in keeping that momentum going and keeping the upbeat atmosphere. And when he nailed those 2 free throws that sealed the game for you guys, that made it a 2-possession game, you could tell in that moment each other on the team was holding the other person accountable and keeping that energy up.
Yeah, and that's something we tell some of these guys that dress, they don't get to play, and they know that, and they just get to experience what we're experiencing right now, and that's part of the reason why they're there, and they do a good job. We've got a kid that doesn't get to play a lot for us, Greer Davis, and he does such a phenomenal job as far as, keeping us locked in, keeping us hyped up, and, we're going into the locker room, against Westmoreland, and we're down, and, we played horrible in the first quarter, and, I'm coming off the floor, and he's waiting at the locker room for me, saying, hey, coach, stay locked in. And, and I think the best thing about it is some of those younger guys that sit with him have really bought into, hey, we want to make this fun too. We don't need to sit here and just pout and whine because we're not getting to play. We need to bring energy. And for 2 games, the bench was the most exciting bench I've ever been a part of playing or coaching, and they do a really good job with it.
Coach, when you look after you get the win over Smith County, you're kind of playing with house money going into the Westmoreland game. A team that you played close twice, the game at home, if I remember right, you had a bad second quarter and wound up losing maybe around 10. Then you go to Westmoreland and you lose by 3. So you had proven on 2 occasions that you could play with them kind of tooth and nail for 7 quarters. I know the second quarter at home maybe wasn't what you had liked it for it to be, but I think your team had a belief, especially after the Smith County win, and then Smith County beats Westmoreland by 12 in their second matchup at Carthage, to believe in themselves. And sometimes that's half the battle. You know that as a coach.
Yeah, and I think, we talked about it, when we played Westmoreland, our big thing going into the tournament was we got to slay the dragon, and the dragon and the giant being Smith County. And I thought if we could do that, we were capable of winning the game that we played. And those guys, after we beat Smith County, they understood the task that was at hand. We had to come out and be ready to play. And they knew that, playing against Westmoreland is very winnable. At our place, I think we scored 2 points in the second quarter here. I think they outscored us by 10 or 11. And then we go to their place, and, we kind of start out kind of sluggish, kind of how we did at Smith County last night. And we finally played 4 quarters of basketball, though. And I say 4 quarters of basketball last night because credit to Westmoreland, they were making shots and making tough shots. A lot with the Eden kid, every three that he hit, he had a hand in his face. And I thought for sure that these kids can't continue to make shots like this. They're just getting hot right now. Any team that scores 17 points in a quarter, there isn't none of this, the team just letting you play. You're making shots is what it comes down to. And they were making shots down the stretch. And our guys responded to it, though, was the big thing.
Coach, when you look, I know you were preaching tempo in both the Smith County game and Westmoreland game. And I thought your team did a great job controlling that, making the other team play defense, which a lot of people don't like to do. And talk a little about playing the tempo that you wanted to play at.
Yeah, and that was one of our focuses going into every game we played this year was controlling the tempo, and we've not really done a good job. We've let teams speed us up, and we kind of get out of control sometimes, and naturally you're going to a little bit every now and then, but those two games, man, we controlled the tempo. We made them play our style of basketball. Westmoreland tried their best to speed us up, and we knew before the game, and I told the guys, listen, she's not going to come out here and just let us kind of play slow ball and half-court basketball. She's going to try to speed us up, and we got to be able to withstand that. And I think looking back at the turnovers this morning, I think we had 6 turnovers total, and I don't think any of them were because of the run and jump. I think it was all just because of us just throwing it away, which is what we've done all year, is just kind of turn and throw it blindly. But tempo has been a big focus for us in those 2 games, and we got to continue to do that because, you're going to have Jackson County is going to control the tempo, and that's part of the game, and we understand that. I think we've done a really good job against Westmoreland and Smith County controlling it.
Can you tell me a little bit about how important it was for you guys to control the glass last night? Because one thing that I noticed was on the defensive side, you weren't giving up any second chance points to Westmoreland, not giving them the opportunity. But there were a few times where you guys got the offensive rebound, and that led to a bucket underneath, or KJ Wood got a rebound underneath and popped it out to Trent Spradlin for the 3. So how important was that for you guys to keep the possession, keep the ball away from Westmoreland on the defensive side, but also to get those second chance points?
Well, I think that was something that we talked about, after we played Westmoreland at Westmoreland, and, they're the type of team that they live off of that stuff. They live off offensive rebounds, and Smith County is the same way. And against Smith County, we gave up 11 offensive rebounds. They had 21 second chance points. They had 13 points off of turnovers. And with Westmoreland, looking back at those 2 games that we played them, we were averaging giving up 11 offensive rebounds. And we were averaging giving up anywhere from 16 to 18 second chance points. And we had to limit that. We understood that. And that was one of the big things after that first time out, or after that first quarter. I said, guys, you have got to control the boards. If you want to win this game, you're going to win it playing defense, and you're going to win it controlling the glass and not turning it over. And we bought into that. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of started clicking for us.
Coach, how big was J.J. Goodall for you? Big last night, 12 points. I thought he did a great job just being smart, playing good, heady basketball. And that's no knock on him for the year. But, Coach, I thought he made some senior-type decisions with his ball handling. I know he's just a junior, but he scored the basketball well. He was so heady. He realized if he had a big on him that he would go give a pump fake, get a guy in the air, draw the contact, get to the free throw line, or get them in the air and then knock down the shot. I thought he was a key contributor. Yes, Trent Spradlin had 17, and it was huge for you. Emotionally, he's your leader. There's no doubt about that. But I thought Goodall really stepped up.
Yeah, I think, we go into halftime, and the first thing that Trent says is I say something about JJ playing well, and Trent gives JJ some credit and just tells him, you got to keep playing. You're doing your thing right now. And he's capable of doing that night in and night out. And we know that, and he knows that. It's just the fact of, being prepared mentally when the ball's tipped up and knowing what your role is. And he done a really good job not settling. And he had times where, if not mistaken, he gets a deflection and he pushes down the floor and he sees a gap. And this is late in the game. He attacks it, splits it, uses his left hand, and plays off of 1 foot, which is something we don't really do. We play off 2 feet and finished it well. And he was playing well. And if he continues to play like this, we got a chance to make a pretty deep run.
Coach, you've got Sequatchie County now at home. How does that sound? At home.
Sounds a lot better than going to York or Jackson County first round.
I know Sequatchie has struggled this year, but it's like you said before, everybody starts 0-0. So best of luck to you against the Indians in Watertown on Saturday night. 7 o'clock, trying to get to the region semis at Monterey. And ironically, you would play the winner of Smith and Jackson in that game if you were to reach that on Monday night. So best of luck to you and the Purple Tigers.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
We'll take a break and be back with more as you're watching The Box Score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Do you ever worry about the safety of your home when you leave? Or at night while you're sleeping? Then give your home a professional security makeover with help from DTC Security.
For just $49.99, get a system with a touch keypad, 3 window or door sensors, motion detector, key fob, and standard installation. Don't put off this important decision.
Contact us and start your home's DTC Security makeover today.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old borrowed trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Welcome back to the Box Score final segment. We're going to go over quite a lot of stuff as far as the district and region. We're turning our attention to District 6AA. Of course, Smith County hosted that district tournament. A lot of close games, a lot of exciting finishes over at Bill Landreth Gym in Carthage, and the atmosphere was truly good. I know Justin and myself got the opportunity to be there every night and to see that. First time Smith County's ever hosted a district tournament. We talked to Addie Hawkins and Errol Houghton and Matt Farrell, the Lady Owls, last week on the show. And, that White County, I know I've been there before and hosted several tournaments there, and they've got an opportunity to do that. It's special when you get to host the district tournament.
It is, and I think White County has done the region. The latest region, I think, was about 3 years ago, and you talk about different caliber of teams that comes in, and the excitement, and down in Sparta, and you know this too, Terry. When Roy Sewell's packed, it is loud.
It is loud. It's a great atmosphere. Of course, their gym design is the same as Smith County,
exactly.
Ironically, and the same as Jackson County High School in Gainsborough. So that's a little trivia for you. I don't know that they're exact same dimensions, but they're close. Patterned the same way. Let's go ahead and look at the District 6AA girls results. Cannon County, the top seed, gets a big win over Watertown. And then Westmoreland beats Smith County. Smith County down double figures, wind up cutting it 7 with the ball in the fourth quarter, but then they go scoreless the final 3 minutes, and Westmoreland kind of pulls away to get the win over the Lady Owls there at home. Sets up a Cannon County-Westmoreland championship game. Of course, Westmoreland and Cannon had tied during the regular season. Cannon County won by 1 at home, seemed like 32-31, and then Westmoreland at home about a 15, 16, 17-point win. But then Westmoreland survives 2 last-second shots to tie it from Cannon. They got 2 threes off in the game's final 5 seconds for Westmoreland to win the championship. Smith County, after not playing particularly well offensively, rebounds with a big 61-50 win over Watertown. And in that game, Addison Hawkins, 27 points, hit 10 of 11 free throws down the stretch for the Lady Owls. She had 14 of 17 overall. Chloe Collins with 12, Marissa Spivey with 10. So they kind of, as we look at these stats, they kind of rebounded, Jeff, from a very disappointing performance. They had 2 starters out at Watertown in that final regular season game.
Yeah, they did, and big hats off to Smith County. And what a game for Addie Hawkins. Yeah. My goodness, we've seen Chloe do her thing with shooting threes, but a huge win there for Smith County, kind of bouncing back and picking up a win. Hopefully they can carry that over into the region.
Kira McCleary with 14. She had 12 of those at half, and Coach Matt Farrell puts his best on-ball defender, Marissa Spivey, on McCleary and holds her to 2 points in the second half. Presley Clark had 11, 8 of those coming in the final quarter when Watertown was trying to make their comeback. Let's look at the Westmoreland win, 42-39. We talked about that. Mallory Cassidy, the co-MVP of the district, leading the way for the Lady Eagles with 12 points. Skylar McMillan knocks down 3 threes, all of those coming first half. For Westmoreland, Bella Pullum, a big second half. She had 16 to keep Cannon County in it. Great atmosphere. Got to give Coach E.J. Perry and Westmoreland credit. And Ashley Patrick, I know she's disappointed with the loss, but her team had their opportunities.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know Coach Patrick has to be disappointed. Westmoreland, we're used to them seeing some good offense, but they spread the scoring around, and it wasn't just one person just dominating for them. And hats off Westmoreland. They get a good win there.
It's the when you look at that and you look at Westmoreland as far as the girls go, they improved to 23-8, and I hate to say it, but you got to think that Westmoreland and York are on a crash course right now to meet in that region championship. We'll look at that bracket in just a minute. Let's go ahead and first of all tell you about the replay of both the consolation game between Watertown and Smith County and Westmoreland and Cannon County, which is the consolation and championship games from over at Carthage at Smith County High on Friday, February 24th at 1, Saturday, February 25th at 7, Sunday, February 26th at 7, and then Monday, February 27th at 1 o'clock. If you want to watch both of those replays. Looking at the Region 3 AA girls region bracket, we touched on that. York hosting Watertown. Of course, that's the same 2 teams that tied together in last year's region match. And then the year before that, they were in the same district, which was District 8 AA. York, hands down, I think the best team in this. Westmoreland may have something to say about that, but York, when you look, they go to Oakland, beat them by 15 or 20 points in that last Saturday night of the regular season. They're loaded once again, and they've got a chance to win the state championship.
I think so too. I think there is a possibility we could see a Westmoreland York matchup. I wouldn't mind, seeing, they could be 2 explosive offenses right there. But I think York, I've seen them play. I saw them play in Sparta back around Christmas, and and they haven't slowed down Yeah, and they look primed to be in Murfreesboro.
Cannon County, Jackson County, a former district matchup as well. Cannon County hosting Jim Brown. Of course, he's had an illustrious career there at Gainesboro. He doesn't have the talent that he once had there. Doesn't make the deep postseason runs and taking home gold and silver balls anymore. But I know that this Lionette team, they better not take Jackson County lightly.
Oh no, definitely not. I think Cannon's got the game at home. I think Cannon, they've got a chance to pull off a good upset, and can they, that'll be a tough draw if it does happen on Monday night. If it's Cannon and York, I think it'd be a great game. Can Coach Patrick's team slay a giant?
Westmoreland will be playing Sequatchie County, no doubt, be a heavy favorite there as they make the long trip from Dunlap to Westmoreland, and then Monterey and Smith County tangling. Monterey, the number 2 seed, but Smith County played them earlier, beat them 65-58. Errol Halton in that game had 27, Chloe Collins 23, as they tangled at the Thanksgiving Classic that Pickett County hosts every year, and that was in Byrdstown. That Smith County got the 7-point win, and ironically, it's a matchup of last year when Smith County wound up going to Monterey and posted their most impressive, or one of their most impressive offensive performances of the year. They win 81-41 at Monterey last year, which was a little bit shocking. Not that Smith County won, but the margin by which they won by.
I think it could be the same this year. I think Smith can go to Monterey. Now, whether it's going to be 40 points like last year,
it'll be a lot closer.
It'll be a lot closer.
When you look at they've got their all-time leading scorer on this year's team. She's a senior. I'm sure she doesn't want her season to end as it did last year for those seniors, as she was a junior, to end on that floor. Of course, the winners of those games, which are Friday night at 7, will advance to Monterey High School. So if Monterey were to get the win, they would play in all likelihood Westmoreland at 7:30 on their home floor, and that could be a big advantage.
Oh, exactly. And if Monterey can squeak by, they could be on their way. You never know.
Let's look at the District 6 AA boys results. Of course, we're going to talk with we've talked with head coach Kevon Honeycutt earlier. He talked about the Watertown upset of Smith County. That 1 point a little bit a stretch because Smith County did bank in about a 35-40 footer at the buzzer to cut it to 1. But now that was a 1 point game at the end of the second and third quarter. I think Watertown maybe led by about 3, but they had that. Okay, we've lost every district game. We've got you where we want you now. Hope you overlook us. Coach Trey Sanders in practice and in the locker room preached to his team, don't take Watertown lightly. Give Watertown credit. They slowed the tempo down. Smith County struggled shooting the ball. Smith County 3 of 11 from the free throw line in the second half of that ball game. When it's a 1 point game, it come back and bit them.
And Terry, this time of the year, points are hard to come by. Teams that's had a tough season, they find ways to win, and one of the ways is slowing the game down to their favor, and that is what Watertown did. Shocked the number 1 seed to get to the championship.
Of course, Watertown had lost by 16 and by 19 to the Owls in the 2 regular season matchups, and of course that final regular season game, Smith County goes to Watertown on the senior nights, and really, kind of takes them behind the woodshed, and Watertown responded to that. Give them credit and Coach Honeycutt. Westmoreland in the other semifinal beats Cannon County 65-51. Cannon County playing A.J. Armstrong tried to go, had an ankle injury, not a lot of valuable minutes. He's a very critical piece of their puzzle. And then in the second quarter, Eli Pelham suffers a knee injury and was unable to return. Is going to be out for the year. He does a lot for them. We've had some games this year where he's had 20 points and 10 boards. Very, very active player on both ends of the floor. So Cannon County really down 2 starters, I guess you could say, in the consolation game and in that semifinal game. Of course, Smith County rights the track and gets the 73-49 victory over Cannon County in the third place game. So the number 1 seed winds up number 3. The number 3 seed winds up number 4. Number 4 seed winds up number 1. And the only seed that wound up second is what they finished the regular season was Westmoreland.
It's crazy this time of the year.
Let's go ahead and look at the boys consolation games. We talked about Taylor Lane Dickerson, 14 points. 12 of those came in the first quarter. He became the all-time leading three-point record as far as threes made in his career. Clayton Rigsby and Peyton Hicks both with 11 points. 16 points for Lucas Phillips, 14 for Antonio Jones to lead Cannon County. It was a 9-point lead for the Owls at half, and then they went on a 19-6 third quarter run to put the game away. And I'm not sure what it is that Smith County's Trey Sanders is doing about his shooting eye in the second half. But in their 6 of their last 7 games, the Owls are shooting 61% in the second half.
Wow,
that's going to beat a lot of teams.
That's unheard of to consistently do that. But I mean, whatever Trey's doing, he needs to keep that up.
Second half, they've shot the ball well. Of course, they hit 57% of their shots in the ball game against Cannon County, and Cannon County playing shorthanded. I got to give Jared Nave's team credit, without a lot of their players. Let's go ahead and look at the boys championship. Big win for Watertown. Trent Spradlin leading the way with 17, 12 of those in the second half, which matched the total of Westmoreland. J.J. Goodall, a big night with 12. Cooper Abner, 11 to lead Westmoreland as Watertown gets the win.
And how about Watertown? Goes winless in the regular season. They make up for it big time with a couple of big wins.
Let's go ahead and look at the replay dates of the boys consolation championship games on Friday, February 24th, and Monday, February 27th at 7, and Saturday, February 25th, and Tuesday, February 28th at 1 o'clock. Let's look at the region bracket in closing. York hosts Cannon County, Westmoreland hosts Monterey, Watertown hosts Sequatchie County and Jackson County, and Smith County tangled. Jackson County won both of those regular season meetings, so those games will be at Saturday at 7 o'clock. The winners will move to Monterey on Tuesday night. Look at the region upcoming games. Region 3 AA girls first round. Cannon County will host Sequatchie County, and we want you to follow us at www.dtc3.tv and all our social media accounts, including Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks so much, Jeff Barnes, Justin Mullen, always doing a great job behind the scenes. I'm Terry Collins. Good night from the Box Score.